Hello. So, someone in my comment on my review of Jonathan Kaminga video has been saying that Clay's washed up. So I just want to, and he is 33 years old. Klay Thompson's 33 years old, but I just want to go into watch the recent tape of him and see if he is. Now, from my previous evaluations of Klay, I think he's probably been a top five player in the league for most of his career, and he's an all-time great. And I really think he's been the true difference maker on the Warriors. Steph Curry's probably gotten more attention just because he's a little bit more flashy and he's smaller, and we all just love to see a smaller player go off because that could be us, man. Us normies, you know, under 6'5". But I think Clay's the real difference maker on the team historically. And if I, based on Clay's tape in the past, like if he was a free agent, he'd be on the top of my list to try and sign. But we'll see if he's dropped off because it can happen at age 33. I mean, I don't think, and he's had a bunch of bad injuries like ACL tear and shit like that. But his game isn't really predicated on athleticism, so we'll just have a look. All right, so blah blah blah. I like that he's angling the ball carrier away from the middle. That's really good sound fundamentals. Shuffling his feet, and then when the ball handler retreats, that's when he goes into attack mode and looking for a steal. Keeps limbs out to try and deflect the ball. So he was involved in giving up a bucket here, but let's evaluate how that happened, right? So this is Jonathan Kaminga, who I've criticized on my channel, and it's a little bit difficult to get. I don't think the video starts with enough time to show us. Okay, so Kaminga, I don't think Brandon Ingram is going to be a threat from three from this range, so there's no reason why Kaminga needs to press up so much on him. Because now, especially with this screen going on, and Kaminga doesn't see the screen, Kaminga's just going to be playing catch up. So essentially, Kaminga needs to understand that Klay's now got his man, Ingram, the ball carrier. So Kaminga needs to sink down and guard against Zion. But instead, Kaminga just goes full bull rush to guard Ingram, which Klay is trying to handle as well, and Ingram gets a nice pass off. So this is where defense isn't just about being able to lock up your guy one-on-one. It's about understanding where your teammates are. It's about understanding responsibilities. And I think Kaminga just doesn't have it. But let's see if Klay still has it, because I believe... See, look, he's communicating to his guy, right? And that's Steph having a lazy closeout, even though Klay just told him to get back. See, look, get back, Steph. CJ's your man. And Steph has a lazy closeout and CJ knocks it down. So this is why there's little things that Klay does on a higher level than Steph, and that's one of them. Just hustle and yeah. Who's this guy? I don't know. So Klay pass to the middle here. So here's Klay trying to guard against Zion. I don't know what happened with that play, but let's get some Klay on offense. I've always loved that he's selfless. Like, he doesn't come to the ball here wanting it. He trusts his man to feed him the ball, and he's getting behind the defense here, looking for an inside pass, and there we go. So that was nice. So his off-ball movement is just absolutely elite. Okay, so I'd prefer him to sink in a little bit more to bait CJ McCollum to make this pass so that he could pick it off, but he's still getting a little bit... And also it would mean that he's just a little bit closer to guard against this three, because that's bad defense. They must disrespect Jonas Valanciunas' three-point ability. Wow, that was a nice looking play by Kuminga. But what happens here? So Klay, I really like it when players don't stand right at the 3-point line, because if Klay catches this, he can actually step into the three and have momentum to get the ball actually to the rim. And it also draws McCollum out a little bit more, which allows Steph to get this pass off. And then Klay just understanding positioning. Steph's taking his spot, so he needs to move to stress the defense. So he gets into the corner and he makes a little cut, gets out of the way of his man, which is good as far as protecting his body. Like, you shouldn't be running into traffic. So this move by Kuminga, Kuminga's dribbling into traffic here. And I'm going to sound like an absolute Kuminga hater, but it's just like, if Zion stands here, Kuminga's stuck. And Zion could still swipe away at this and doesn't for some reason. That's where like Zion is focusing on his man too much, not understanding the team defense concepts. That's a sexy looking move by Kuminga, so respect. So here's Klay. See, Klay understands he's got to sag down because he doesn't get there in time though. Klay out in the wing again. Catch and shoot. I mean, he's still got it, guys. Come on. How is he washed? People are saying that he's washed. How is that possible? I mean, look at this. Who else in the league can catch and shoot with this much effectiveness? Just catch. Just. One thing I will say is that there's been a few clips here where he's been jogging a bit on defense, where he should really be hustling down. Like, he could be under the basket helping rebound against Zion here. So that might come with age, where you just like your energy levels, your ability to just hustle night in, night out is a little bit more difficult. But I still think he's extremely fundamentally sound and skilled. Here he is in the corner. And like, okay, so are people falling into the trap of thinking that stats are everything and they're just looking at the box score and saying Klay must be washed, and are the stats bad? 13 points in 24 minutes is pretty good. 25 points in 28 minutes is great. 19 and 34, 24 and 35, 15 and 25. 3 points in 26 minutes. And this was a big game. 9 points in 32 minutes against Denver. So I'll just have a look. We'll have a look at that game. Because that's when this narrative that Klay is washed, I think, really kind of started to hit home. Or like become a narrative. He might have... Did he shoot the ball badly? He had 12 attempts. Yeah, so... He shot the ball okay from 3 from 10, but overall not great and didn't have any free throw attempts. Of course, you know, part of that could be, when was it? Christmas. There's a possibility he's just not getting enough of the ball too. Okay, so here he is. Bit of a mix up there with Kuminga. Here he is, clogging... Oh, look at the disarray he's causing the offense. He's messing with the ball carrier. He's messing with the potential pass out. That's just great work. Here he is. Keeping his arms wide so that he can, even when he is not looking at these guys, if they come in to try and get an offensive rebound, the fact that his arms are out means that he can feel them and box out. He should probably be pressing into box out Joker here, but whatever. Catch and shoot master. Okay, so he needs to, I don't know what he was. This was definitely a mistake. Lets his guy go past here, and Kuminga's too late. That was nice by Kuminga. Klay's just chasing a bit here. That's Kevon Looney's fault. He's got to, once he knows the pass is thrown, he needs to get up in Porter's face and trust his teammates to recover. Could Klay have done much more against this? Probably could have gone around Joker like that. Yeah. Getting caught up on screens a bit here. So I've just got to figure out how much I would pay Klay per year based on what I'm seeing here. But look, at the end of the day, giving up shots is not just on the guy who's guarding the player. So Klay's got Porter. Looney needs to switch. Looney's a lazy defensive player and not smart. He needs to switch. That's Looney's man now, and Klay can take Jokic. Klay moving off ball, catch and shoot. I think Klay is still an elite player. I mean, he's got one of the smoothest jumpers. Doesn't even need to do much ball. Like, I bet his usage rate is extremely low. Can we look at that? I might be able to just search it. So his usage rate in 2023-2024, which means how much ball does he have on offense per possession? Like 23% of the time. When you look at whereas Steph's got 30%, right? So Steph has the ball more than Klay, and this is a very cool site. And Embiid has the ball 38% of the time. Luka Doncic 36% of the time. Wow, they must be really feeding Embiid. Damn. Or having him play on the perimeter. I actually haven't watched much Philly lately. But yeah, you can see that Klay has the ball much less than some of these other guys. Even though, frankly, Klay's good enough where I'd want him to be the focus on offense. There's a possibility that he's being neglected a bit by his teammates as far as feeding him the ball, which might mean that his numbers are down. But I still think he wreaks havoc defensively through positioning and good fundamentals, and then offensively, it's just like you've got to guard him, you know, like 5 feet beyond the 3 point arc. He still lights out. And we saw that clip of him cutting baseline. He still knows how to move off the ball and wreak havoc that way. We'll see if is there any clip of him using some handles, because that would be indicative that he can still create shots. Again, not as fancy as a Steph Curry, but where's Klay? Here he is. See, he's even down to screen for people. The Warriors have some talent. I love Chris Paul as well. Anyway, I love Klay. I don't think he's washed at all. I'd probably pay him, I don't know, I'd pay him a max contract for at least a couple more years. If I was an NBA GM, I would try and sign Klay for. He's 33 years old. For maybe I'd give him like 2 years and like 70 mil, with a team option for adding on another 30. That's what I would give him, because I think he's still one of the best players in the league based on what I've seen here, and he's Klay Thompson. Like, he brings that championship experience, brings a big name to your team. So if you're some, like who are the NBA cap space 2024, or it would be 2023 actually. No, yeah, we're in 2024. Cap tracker. What does this mean? I don't get it. What? I don't. What is this telling me? Anyway, like, I suppose a team that wants to contend would bring in Klay. Like, the Thunder bringing in Klay might not make much sense to them, because unless they want to contend now. How do I see how much projected practical cap space? Okay, that's helpful. Damn, Philly's got shitloads. So Philly could get Klay, I think. They've got the talent. Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid's a good core. Klay might be say, all right, yeah. Because what's Klay's contract situation? Okay, so he's a free agent going into next year. And there's a possibility he does get traded at the deadline. So he could go to Philly as a free agent. Otherwise, I think it's probably likely he stays with the Warriors, because I think the bird rights mean that the Warriors can go way over the cap to keep him. Yeah, I'd say Philly are definitely a player in free agency. So who have they got on their books? Embiid, and that's it. So surely they got Tyrese Maxey would still be on a rookie contract. Oh, they're gonna have to. They might give Tyrese Maxey a max contract. That's how good he is. They'll send the qualifying offer, and then I'd back up the Brinks truck for Maxey. Anyway, Klay's still the man. I think if so, essentially, okay. So to prove Klay Thompson's effectiveness, right? Let's look at the Warriors record. Across seasons. Okay, so let's see here. Klay Thompson overview. So I just want to show that when Klay isn't on the Warriors team, the Warriors don't perform at like the dynasty level that they have been when he is in the lineup, right? So what are the years where Klay is out of action? 19, 20, 2021, okay? 19, 20, 2021. So they finished 15th, literally the worst team in the Western Conference. When Klay was out for the whole year with a knee injury, and then they didn't make the playoffs when he was out with an Achilles. What? When did he play? And then he came back and was available in the latter stage of the year, and they finished in third place. And look, the Warriors are currently sixth in the West. Oh no! They finished sixth in the West last year. Yeah, but that's a product. That could be a product of other factors. It's all not just on one guy. But there's a clear trend here that when Klay plays, the team is competitive. When he doesn't play, they're really not. I mean, is that not enough to say that Klay is a great player? That's my verdict. Klay's still the man.